Is it okay if I start over?
Sure, you start over.
Students across the United States face an increase in responsibility and expectations, specifically once an individual reaches the 6th grade. In recent years, an increasing emphasis on academic performance and success has occurred, with standardized tests becoming more important for schools and their districts. The standards that school systems must follow and meet following the year of instruction results in increasing amounts of educational material required for students to learn in order to be successful in these examinations. These standards are changing and evolving, leading to increasing significance being placed on student aptitude, stressing the utilization of every minute at school. Good afternoon. My name is Gainey, and as a student who has personal experience and connection with this topic and its influence on myself and my fellow students, I desire to focus on the theoretical correlation between physical fitness and academic success. I propose the question, what is the correlation within the Randolph County school system between physical fitness and academic success for students enrolled in middle school and high school? Within the United States, on average, each school year consists of close to 180 days, with students attending school for roughly 6.64 hours daily, according to the National Center for Educational Statistics, a federal entity for collecting and analyzing educational data. That results in students spending around 1,195.2 hours in school for one school year. Yet for middle school and high school students, the hours spent at school have little to no time for incorporating physical fitness. And with the growing responsibility of the students in these grade levels, physical activity time has proceeded to be decreased. While this can be seen across the United States, even within Randolph County, there's a decrease in physical fitness within the school day, as middle school students have a mandatory 6 semesters of gym classes, a gym class every semester while in grades 6 through 8. Meanwhile, high school students grades 9 through 12 only have one mandatory semester of the same classes out of their 8 semesters in high school. Without this allotted time during the school day for physical fitness, it is questionable as to whether students do participate in the suggested amount of physical fitness that is beneficial towards their health. However, in 2019, the Washington Post reported that 50% of the surveyed middle schoolers and 75% of surveyed high schoolers describe themselves as often or always feeling stressed, leading researchers to wonder if physical fitness, or the lack thereof, influences a student's academic success. Without a connection to academic success or any educational topic, physical activity has already been shown to positively influence many entities, like cognitive function and self-perception, both of which have been supported by other research studies. For instance, cognitive function is the ability for individuals to maintain information and learn, which can be measured through brain testing and is partially visible through physical activity. Cognitive function is an important aspect of student academic achievement due to its determination of retaining information and adapting given specific circumstances. In a study conducted by Megan Hurdy and her colleagues through the Department of Pediatrics at the Children's Hospital Los Angeles in Los Angeles, California, and Department of Behavioral Neuroscience at Oregon Health and Science University in Portland, Oregon, a deeper reference to cognitive function and brain development was studied revolving around physical fitness's influence on the subject. Aerobic exercise has already been proven to activate the growth of a protein known as brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. However, this study uses this information to determine if aerobic fitness relates to brain volume and thickness in 15 to 18-year-olds specifically. Through the use of MRIs and other testing of individuals, the study suggested that aerobic fitness relates to greater thickness and volumes in the frontal, parietal, and motor regions of the brain, all of which influence cognitive function, suggesting that scientifically, physical activity impacts crucial brain development, positively correlating with academic success also. Self-perception, an additional entity that physical fitness has been suggested to influence, is the feelings that individuals have about themselves. These feelings may include ones of strength, confidence, capability, intelligence, etc. In this context, it is seen through how a student feels about their academic performance and physical fitness capability. Specifically, through a study conducted by Tommy Hagen and his colleagues at the University of Agder in Norway, the self-perception of adolescents was studied before and after participating in specific physical activities. The finding of this study suggested that physical activity and exercise may be seen as factors that have the potential to stabilize or enhance physical self-perception during the adolescent years. By positively influencing this self-perception, students are then more highly motivated to do other activities and put forth great effort in other areas, such as school. When more motivation occurs because students are more confident in themselves, academic success for those students would increase also. Through multiple sources, the individual identities that physical fitness positively influences were addressed. However, as my research continued, I came across a study by Megan Weimer, which focuses on the relationship between physical fitness and academic success among high school students in a specific rural Illinois high school. Within her 2018 dissertation through Indiana State University's Department of Applied Health Sciences, Weimer discusses the positive correlation between physical fitness and academic success for 9th through 12th grade students at the individual school. Within the study, physical fitness was analyzed through the student results of physical fitness testing, and student academic success and achievement was defined as the student's cumulative grade point averages, or GPA. Other variables recorded through the study included student demographics like gender, ethnicity, grade level, socioeconomic status, and the number of absences from school. Through the study, 371 students from across the grade levels were analyzed, and the data was then further analyzed. Concluding the collection of data, the positive correlation that was hypothesized to exist between physical fitness and academic success was shown theoretically, with the understanding that other variables, such as demographic variables, influence the entities also. These studies, some of which discussed how physical fitness influenced specific parts of academic success, and another study that suggested the correlation between physical fitness and academic success, all allowed me to understand the process for my own research and what data should be collected in order to address this topic. Following my in-depth review of previously conducted research, I decided to utilize the survey methodology to conduct my own research on the topic. Specifically, this methodology allows for the potential of greater numbers of participants, and through the Google Forms platform, participant identities would be protected. As a result of the studies that I had observed through previous research studies, I determined that the utilization of surveys would be best to achieve the objectives of my study, which were to include to identify if student self-perception about academic success is influenced by physical fitness participation, acknowledge benefits and disadvantages of students participating in athletics and physical fitness based on teacher, coach, and administration perspectives, and analyze how and if the age of students results in a greater direct correlation between physical fitness and academic success. Also, my research acknowledges the gap, as a whole county was analyzed, and the county itself was rural in comparison to other analyzed locations, which were based on individual schools and those from larger urbanized areas. To organize the collected data throughout the research process, I created two surveys, one which was for students between grades 9 through 12 in the Randolph County School System, and one which was for teachers, coaches, administrators, etc. at the same middle schools and high schools. Both of these surveys were approved by the Southwestern Randolph High School IRB Board, along with the Randolph County School System IRB Board, and 14 different middle schools and high schools received the surveys. For the student survey, reflective questions surrounding how a student feels about their grades and what they are, and the amount of physical fitness the student participates in were asked. Personal opinion questions were also included, where students could give their opinion on how, for instance, their physical fitness and/or athletics influence their level of success in school and their grades. For the teacher, coach, administrator, etc. survey, opinion questions were asked, allowing for the adult participants to give input on the effect of physical fitness on motivation, academic success, and the grades of students. In both surveys, some questions were required while some were left optional, and the questions took the form of multiple choice, short response, or long answer. The identities of all participants were protected during these surveys, and some questions, such as reporting grades, were left optional. Over the span of a 2-week period, 1,803 student responses from 13 of the original 14 schools participated in the survey, and every grade level from grades 6 through 12 were represented. In addition, 235 teacher, coach, administrator, etc. responses were collected from across the Randolph County School System. Overall, for the student survey, when initially asked how often do you participate in any type of physical fitness, 80.7% of the participants claimed to participate in physical fitness daily or 2 to 3 times a week, while 19.6% of participants claimed to participate in physical fitness a few times a month or irregularly. The following questions asked about student grade ranges, which range from all A's to D's and F's on the grading scale used within the state of North Carolina. 74.6% of students claimed to obtain grades of all A's, A's and B's, or B's and C's. A vague positive correlation between physical fitness and academic success is noted through the combining of these two results, which suggests that the majority of participants participate in physical fitness and have higher grades. More in-depth questions were asked of the students as the survey progressed. One significant question included, from personal experience, do you feel that physical fitness has helped you become successful through school? Where 79.9% of participants selected the choices of yes or possibly but I am unsure. Another important question asked of students included, do you feel like you strive for greater academic success because of your athletic participation and/or your community and extracurricular involvement? Where 52.4% of the students suggested that yes, athletic participation, physical fitness, and other activities positively affect their success. Through the personal responses collected from these questions, it is suggested that a majority of the participants believe that physical fitness and academic success are connected directly and positively, as their physical involvement leads them to strive for greater success and to be more motivated. The teacher, coach, administrator, etc. survey contained multiple choice opinion questions without asking of one's grade that they work with, their gender, or their school affiliation. The 9 questions that were asked followed a similar format of one another, all asking of the individual's viewpoints on the situations questioned. One important question posed to this survey included, what is your opinion on this statement? Athletes and those who visibly participate in physical fitness typically show more motivation to obtain academic success. 74.4% of participants strongly agreed or agreed with this statement, with an additional 17.4% of participants stating that they were indifferent. Another question asked included, overall, would you suggest that participation in athletics and physical fitness is beneficial for student academic success, or does it negatively affect them? 41.3% of participants selected that overall participation in these things is beneficial for student academic success, and 37% suggested that in some cases, participation is beneficial, but not all. 9.8% of responses seemed indifferent by selecting the choice it benefits and negatively affects student academic success. There were additionally inputted responses to this question as well. It should be noted that data trends were noticed throughout the groupings of questions within this survey. For example, when discussing motivation, the participants suggested that overall, physical fitness and athletics proved to be a motivating factor for students in class. Questions of success and grades followed the same positive connection, stating that physical fitness allows for greater success and higher grades. When combining the results of this adult survey, it is strongly implied that there is a positive connection between physical fitness and academic success. However, many adults noted that physical fitness does not always result in overall benefits for students due to stress and expectation. Overall, the research hoped to analyze students' self-perception about academic success and how it is influenced by physical fitness participation, understand both benefits and disadvantages of students participating in athletics and physical fitness based on adult perspectives, and determine how and if the age of students results in a different correlation. This mixed method research study resulted in the assumption of a theoretical correlation between physical fitness and academic success for middle school and high school students within the Randolph County school system. It can be theoretically determined that there is a positive correlation between physical fitness and academic success, as from both student perspectives and adult perspectives, the correlation is visible. While there are exceptions and external factors that do not always ensure the direct positive correlation of these entities, for the majority of situations, when an individual participates in physical fitness, the student obtains higher motivation, confidence, grade ranges, and overall academic success. Also, despite predictions, there was no difference in data trends between different ages, suggesting that age does not affect the positive correlation. However, there are present limitations to consider revolving around this survey and its results. As a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, the sharing of research materials was through online sources only, limiting the researching process. The results are based on student and adult perceptions and opinions rather than completing true physical fitness tests. These opinions may differ from the results of a test, and due to the use of opinions rather than scientific testing, the overall findings are theoretical. Also, multiple choice format of survey questions was used with pre-existing answer choices, which may have skewed the research as the participants had to select an answer written rather than select their true opinion. This would result in minor inaccuracies, however, due to the preciseness of the provided answer choices. In contrast, a predicted limitation of fewer middle school responses than high school student responses was proven to not be an issue, as there was an equal amount of all grade levels represented within the study, benefiting the data collection and its analysis. The results of this study lead to the conclusion that further studies should consider conducting individual tests on student academic success, preceding and concluding the implementation of physical fitness into the individual students' lives. By combining both physical fitness testing results and the results of my conducted study, physical fitness initiatives to benefit students through education can be established. While this study references one county specifically, the findings could allow for an increase in understanding for public leaders and other individuals on how important physical fitness is for academic success, remedying the situation that students have a limited physical fitness time, despite the increasing standards expected of students through their achievement that continues to increase. Also, with an increasing understanding of the impact of physical fitness on student academic success, suggested by further research along with my research, student physical health could also be benefited. In conclusion, this theoretical correlation suggests the necessity of further investigation on the topic of physical fitness and academic success in order to benefit students and their lives as time progresses. While physical fitness is limited presently, increasing student involvement with it could increase student academic success and overall benefit the education system and students overall. Thank you for your time, and here are my citations.
All right, we will start with your questions.
So how did your review of the methods used by the scholars in the field inform your selection a research method or process that is aligned with your research question here?
When I started reviewing the literature review and other materials that I had gathered, I initially had seen only surveys and studies that had conducted true physical fitness tests, and such as Megan Herding's or Megan Weimer's study. I did like how she came across the whole topic of doing individual testing. However, I knew that I could not do that with COVID. So I came across Tommy Hagen's study, which was solely based on student perceptions and opinions rather than relying on the actual physical fitness testing results. So by using his survey method, but then taking what Megan Weimer, I read through her study, and her study had a lot of specific questions that went along with the physical fitness testing. So I used some of the questions that she had asked along with her testing results and followed the format of Tommy Hagen's study in order to form my own research study to conduct my study itself.
All right, question number 2.
What are the real-world implications or consequences related to your findings?
As noted through my research presentation, my research itself is technically theoretical because I have no scientific data to back it up, such as physical fitness testing results. However, it's assumed that with there being a opinion-based direct correlation, that there would also be a direct correlation with physical fitness testing results. And a real-world implication of having both of those results aligning with each other would be implementing more physical fitness into the daily life of a student. As I mentioned, many students don't participate in the suggested amount of physical fitness, and sadly, most of them probably wouldn't participate in it at all if they weren't athletes and they weren't forced into participating in it after school. So a real-world implication would be to implement more physical fitness time, especially for high schoolers who may not take a gym class and may not have any physical fitness time for them worked into their school day. So by incorporating that into the education system, students would be more healthy and have more longer, healthier lives, but also academic success would increase for the schools and for those students.
And question number 3.
Right. What was the most important research skill you developed as a result of this process, and how might you apply it to your future endeavors?
When I was conducting my research, I was having to ask survey questions because I was doing it from afar and not sitting down with individual people and interviewing them. I had to figure out a way to ask the question that I was trying to ask, but not ask too broad of a question that I wouldn't get the correct data that I needed, but not ask a question that would make someone uncomfortable with the answers that I was having to provide. So by trial and error and having my peers review some of the questions that I had originally written and send it off to the IRB boards, I was having to learn how to make personalized questions to better align with my data. By learning this research skill of making more personalized questions and then making answer choices that also would fit different opinions, but not so broad, but not so narrow of an audience, and for a response, I learned how to write proper survey questions. I plan on using this as I go to college because I do plan on doing research as I get into college. So by using this research skill of making survey questions that are personal and still relate to my research, I will definitely be using that as I go in my future.
All right, great job. Thank you.